Hey Aquarius, I hope that you're all doing well. What I was seeing when I split the deck was something having to do with King of Cups. I'm looking at Ace of Swords and I'm also seeing Lovers on the bottom of the deck. When we have Ace of Swords, there can be something going on where we feel like we get clarification for something, or like something is clicking and we understand. For some of you, this can have to do with something that's going on within a relationship. It doesn't only have to be a relationship though. This can be about choices that are being made too, because lovers can also have to do with that as well. It's like options and choices that we are exploring. I really love seeing the Ace of Swords because all of those cards that are connected with like not seeing things clearly, like the Devil or Hanged Man or Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Seven of Cups, like these types of things, they're all kind of like the antithesis of the Ace of Swords. So when we have the Ace of Swords, it's finally like that piercing through the veil, and that is why Ace of Swords is one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. It's kind of like things are all out in the open, stuff has been figured out, things have been talked about or understood. It's like there's not really anything left that hasn't been put on the table now at this point, as far as we're concerned. So it's just it's a better place to be, and you can feel clear-headed as well. Like you can feel like you're really seeing things now. Maybe you have some type of truth to speak as well. I'm seeing Three of Cups and I'm seeing Ace of Pentacles. So there can be like a gathering or something that's coming together, coming to fruition that has to do with you. It has to do with another person or other people. Three of Cups is going to be something nice where you get to go somewhere and you get to celebrate, or you get to connect, or you have a nice time with somebody. Three of Cups I like to see as more of like a friendship energy, regardless of whatever else is going on. So this can feel like maybe you have something happening here that's going to be focused on, like maybe you've made up with someone. We can have that when we have the Three of Cups, or maybe like things are good between you and another person, or maybe you're reconnecting with a friendship or something like that. Whatever this is, it's going to be something that feels nice. And this can even mean like maybe you're starting a new chapter socially. Or maybe there's like something that's going on. When is this reading? So I'm recording this, been pretty far ahead in the schedule. I'm recording this on, guys, I never know which day it is. Like I always have to look. I'm recording this on the 4th, but it's going to be published, I believe, on the 12th. So yeah, maybe by the time that the 12th is around, isn't that actually very close to, is it a full moon? Isn't that on the 13th? Let's check. Because it's in Libra. I know that it's in Libra, and this can be something kind of Libran themed here. Let's look. Yes, it says the full moon in April 2025, also known as the pink moon. Why does that sound familiar? Tosh Sultana has a song called Pink Moon. Will occur on Saturday, April 12th at 5:22 p.m. PDT. But I'm fairly certain that it's in the sign of Libra in Western astrology anyway. I don't know what the degree is at, but yeah, you can have like maybe something going on socially, like maybe something's coming to fruition here. Whether this be like within your personal life or be something like more within your social arena. I feel like for those of you that For those of you that you may be more centrally focused, kind of like on yourself right now, and there's less of a social storyline, this can be you being at a point where maybe you finally assessed something that needed to be assessed. Because Queen of Swords is that part of us that we're looking into things in order to better understand them and to really listen. Like, Queen of Swords always gives me the feeling of Shravana Nakshatra, which is connected with the ear, and it is connected with listening. And so, like, maybe there's something going on here about having, I get something too though about like having a truth to tell. Something about like that phrase keeps coming through as it is connected with this. But even if this can be like something that you're doing with yourself as well, that can also be the thing too. Because I don't want to take away, like it always is about your relationship with yourself first, even when other people are involved. So yeah, maybe there's just something socially that's clicking for you now. And I'd say that you can feel reunited with the part of you that is the Queen of Swords. And this is the part of you that you look at things and you understand things and you get to the truth. You knock all of the things out of the way that would not allow you to see the truth and how things really are in whatever realm you are assessing. Okay, so you have an ending and you have a beginning. We not only have this, but we also have this too. And I'm seeing them casting a shadow on one another. I feel like this Ten of Swords is you've figured something out and you don't need to spend any more time thinking about it because you've gotten to the essence of this. And now the new chapter can begin. When we have Ten of Swords, it can be something challenging that we've been working on, that maybe you even are going to have a discussion about this. Like, this feels like I was going through this thing was happening, and this can be one of two things, okay? This can be, this Ten of Swords already happened, but now I want to have a conversation about this thing that happened. This can also mean that I'm not going to hold off and I'm going to close out something that needs to close out to just get this over with so this can just be done now. Because sometimes we need to like prepare ourselves to go into something that has to happen. And when it's the Ten of Swords, it's going to be the finalization. It's going to be the completion. So we can have a new beginning now. So we don't have to be working on this anymore. And this part of you is the part of you that maybe you needed to connect with to kind of come out full force to deal with whatever this is. Because this can be something that there's kind of like an ominous feeling surrounding it. So yeah, maybe there was something here where you needed the like bandwidth or something to be able to do this. And something about feelings can be being talked about too, because I was seeing Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So there can be something about like how one was feeling moving through something that's been going on. I see this more as what somebody has been thinking about more than anything. That means as well that you can possibly like hear from somebody, but this feels like something that carries good news with the Three of Cups being attached to it. Or this is like somebody that cares about you. It'll be something like that. Settling something having to do with the exchange. But why is there an issue? If this is something that's been worked through, you would think that there wouldn't be an issue here, but I'm seeing Five of Swords, which actually feels like something is not totally resolved yet. Because we have this new chapter starting. And having this here, it's like everybody knows what their part is and everybody's ready to show up and do what they need to be doing here. So everybody's playing their part within this. But having this here, there can still be like a feeling of upset about something. Let's see what this is about. This Five of Swords can be a guarded energy. And it can be maybe not feeling at peace with something totally yet. Or it can be it can be either looking at something now and feeling a way about it, or being like, is this gonna happen? And then I'm gonna have to, you know, like this kind of worrying about something here. Like, if this happens, I'm not gonna be okay with it. It feels kind of like that. Can you tell me about this Five of Swords? What's this about? It's being clarified by death. Something that ended or is ending. There can be something here that's connected with something that's still unraveling, that maybe hasn't fully come out of the cocoon yet. Because Five of Swords is looking one way, but death is going another way. So I wonder if there's something here about having to sort of surrender, let go of something. This looks like something on the emotional front. Death was going back in with High Priestess, which is Scorpio moon vibes. Which is when we feel something very intensely and can have a hard time with change. Which I always find to be like so ironic about Scorpio, because Scorpio is literally the death card, which is like things ending and things changing and things beginning. Like, it is that card of movement constantly. But Scorpio is also a fixed sign, and so it's like doesn't really like to do that. It's like not really the nature of Scorpio, even though that is, it's kind of like two things that seem kind of to oppose one another. So yeah, maybe there's just something going on here that you feel like the whole riddle hasn't been totally solved yet, which also seems kind of like, well, how can that be true if we have the Ace of Swords here then? But I feel like more than anything, what's happened is that you've had a breakthrough that has to do with your understanding of the right order of things. And so if something is not in a place of balance and reciprocity, this stuff is getting weeded out now at this point, so this new chapter can begin. But there's something here about like, I still can't slip. I have to stay paying attention. Having Queen of Swords and having Seven of Wands feels like, I don't know, I feel like things are okay, like things are going all right, but at the same time, Queen of Swords and Seven of Wands feels like I'm still watching. So even though it's like, yeah, like things can continue like this, or like that's okay, there's still this feeling of like watching for something. Like, if it goes this way, I'm gonna have to do something. If it goes that way, I'm gonna have to do something. There's something here about not feeling totally relaxed in this situation and still paying attention, watching. And maybe this is also to make sure that you keep your mind in like a cleansed and clear state with Ace of Swords and Seven of Wands. This can be like, I don't want to get involved in something and lose my clear vision. So even though maybe something is coming together here, like maybe something happened, let me just guess. Maybe something happened within a relationship, okay? And now you can be like, I feel more clear on my values. And not only that, but when things are being applied in a way that actually feels balanced versus when it's not really fair. And so now that you've gotten to this point where you can be seeing this clearly, maybe you have somebody coming back around and you're like watching to make sure. It's like they come through and it seems fine, but you're like still watching to make sure that it stays in a place of balance. Because if it goes out of balance, you have to be the one observing that and do something about it to correct it, basically. So that's what I'm seeing be happening with this. It's like you have to protect to make sure that there's reciprocity, because this feels like maybe a little bit of a questionable situation where you don't know if it's really going to be that, and you have to make sure that you're paying attention. And that can be where this feeling of the Five of Swords is coming from, of like, unless you're in a situation where you know for sure it's balanced between you and another person or another whatever, you know, like you being on one side, something or someone else being on the other side. Unless you know that it's locked in and that the scales are balanced because you're in that space with another person, that's when we can relax and you don't really need to be watching so closely. But this feels like it's not a guarantee. And that's why you keep having to look, but enough hasn't happened that you don't have to do anything right now, but I'm seeing it be like watching, because it's going to go either one way or another, and then something will have to be done, is what it seems. So you're kind of in a little bit of an in-between here, but you know what you're looking for. You'll know if something starts happening and it's going a little bit sideways here, you will know that. And I feel like that's what this cycle was about, getting the, what is it? It's like the criteria for something going out of whack. That's what you were developing in the last chapter. So you can spot it, spot the difference. So now you're in a situation where nothing is going on that would make you feel like this is out of whack, but you're still watching just in case that does happen. That's where I'm seeing things be within the energy. Yeah, I'm seeing a specific relationship. Maybe something happened and it made you realize this, that this is something that you have to be watching for. Just because of not wanting to have to go through this again. Like, I'm seeing something really important be realized about something that had happened. So there's an awareness that has come from a situation that maybe was not easy to move through, but you can feel like really linked with the part of yourself that can look at what's going on and make good judgment calls about what's happening, and to see things clearly and not be clouded by anything. So I'm seeing that's something that you gained here. And so I'm seeing you getting better at exercising this part of your energy. And so I am seeing that there is this new chapter, but it just feels like with all of the stuff that I know now, I have to be on the watch for this because I don't want things to get out of order. And maybe you just feel like, it's like, you know, when the kids are old enough and so nobody has to be watching them because they can watch themselves, versus something that's like a baby energetically, and so like somebody has to be babysitting. You're babysitting within the energy, because otherwise like you might get into some trouble here. Not you, but the situation. It can go somewhere you don't want it to go. So there's something about that. I feel like that's a little bit tiring, but maybe it's something that feels worth it to you to be doing here. But I'm seeing you definitely keep a very close eye on this, and I think like where things are going. 6 of Cups, 4 of Wands. This can be a relationship that you've been connected with for years. But maybe this also sheds light on your relationships as well. Six of Cups, Four of Wands, Hermit. I just say that there's a lot that you're thinking about. We also have Gemini Moon and we have Pluto. Gemini Moon can be thinking about things a whole lot. Looking at it this way, looking at it that way, having this thought over here, trying to organize the thoughts about this. So maybe there's also a lot of information that you've been connecting with. I'm seeing a tower landing over the Six of Cups. Something has broken you out of some type of past. I'm hearing membrane, but I'm seeing it more so be like an energetic cycle that you were in. And maybe had been in for a long time. Like it almost feels like being hypnotized within the cycle, but then the tower comes through and kind of breaks you out of it. Like going around and around and around, and then the tower comes through and it, yeah, just like breaks the chain of that cycle. And you can be understanding things that you hadn't understood before either. Because I think there are like a lot of epiphanies that are connected with this too. And as it relates to how you take action. Yeah, I'm seeing something about either a past relationship or one that you've been in for a long time. Something about wanting there to be, I think, stability and things actually feeling right within your personal life. That's also part of what this is connected with too. Okay, Ace of Swords is going in with the Fool. So I'd say that now you have a new understanding, one that you didn't have before, because you're willing to think differently, and thinking differently feels like it allows you to see things as they actually are. But if you were still seeing things from that same perspective, I don't think that you'd be having this epiphany right now. Okay, so this is about where things are moving to next, like the next steps that are being taken, and there being a lot of deliberation about that, about where things are going. And I'm also seeing stuff having to do with relationships and balancing relationships. And this feels like multiple relationships as well, where it can be multiple situations. Then Ace of Pence is going in with Four of Pentacles. So this can be like really wanting to stabilize something here in this next chapter. Maybe so it feels solid to you. I'm seeing that Ten of Swords is going in with Justice. So I feel like the type of insight that you gained moving through this situation told you more about what is going to feel right within your life and how things best function. Because this feels like something had to get kicked to the curb in order for you to find a greater sense of balance. But there can still be something that's feeling difficult about this, because I'm seeing Devil and I'm seeing Ten of Wands. And what that means is that when we have the Devil, it can be really easy for us to overdo it, underdo it, just to like not get the combination right. Because the Devil can really mess with the amount of something. And so where maybe we should have stopped, or maybe we should have gone further, it can mess with your understanding of when enough is enough or when it's not enough. So there can be something here about that you are working with, that maybe that was part of the last cycle, and something that now, overall, I'm seeing now something has been corrected, but you can be like, well, I don't want that to happen again. So I feel actually like that's what all of this is about, to keep things in check and to really allow yourself to honor what it is that you want here. You maybe needed to kind of like corral yourself off to be able to reflect on this. And for some of you, yeah, I'm seeing this be about a past relationship, that this has been a review of a past relationship or one that you've had for a long time. Also, you can make solid moves, like ones that you actually feel are congruent with what your intuition has been communicating with you. Forging ahead. Yeah, I'm also seeing something about a current relationship that you have going on here. And you have now assessed what needed to be assessed about this. So I say that you're in a place where everything that you need to know right now, you know it. And now it just feels like a kind of paying attention to what's going on to make sure that things stay where you need them to stay. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.